Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday Meditation Gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week we have kironJ Gardner, who will lead us in meditation. Then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we're going to open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, kironJ.
Thanks very much, Dan. It's lovely, lovely, lovely to be here again. So good to see you. So wonderful that you're all choosing to join in holy purpose in this way. The theme, the focus that I'd like to offer today is power. What power do we have, and what seems to have power over us? As people, it seems that problems have power over us. The world, other people, our body. Things seem to happen and we have no choice but to react. But the Course is saying this just is not how it is. It's a choice for powerlessness, but we don't have to make that choice. So I hope you'll find this contemplation helpful. Going to introduce the silence with two quotes. So shall we close our eyes, opening our minds to spirit together. Choosing holy purpose for our joining. What God did not give you has no power over you, which means only what God gave us has power over us. And the second quote, what has been given you? The knowledge that you are a mind, in mind, and purely mind, sinless forever, wholly unafraid, because you were created out of love. So as a person, we will always have problems, and they will always seem to have power over us. But that's not who we are. We are mind, created by God. And as mind, we share God's power. We share his autonomy. And nothing can affect us apart from God. And this is reflected in the dream by identifying as the dreamer of the dream and not the dream figure. So let's look at our choice today to be a person with problems or a mind sharing power with God. Let's go into the silence now.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 15 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. Actually, we have 20 minutes left. And if you'd like to share, raise your hand, or you can use the electronic hand at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Who would like to share? Jim, take yourself off mute.
Yes, thank you, Dan, and thank you, kironJ. Yes, I found that a very restful meditation. I've been given an opportunity now to clearly distinguish between the two parts of the mind, because there's the mind that is somehow conducted by the brain, and there is the mind that is beyond the body and the brain. I've been diagnosed with a degenerative neurological disease, which means that the brain is very often sending out signals of anxiety. It's part of the condition, and so I've been really practicing going beyond that to the mind that has no anxiety, and that meditation certainly was a help with that. You mentioned that only what God has given us has power over us. And I take it you mean the ego, mind, and the body. But can you say a bit more about that, please, when you say that what God has given us has power over us?
Thank you, Jim. So answering your question first, the quote is, "What God did not give you has no power over you." And this is one of the cases, one of the examples when the Course is correcting our misunderstandings or our choice for misunderstandings. You know, as people, we seem to encounter things that have power over us, like a diagnosis. Like, oh, it just appeared when we think we're a person, and I've just got to react to this. So the phraseology there is to say, no, 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 that's not the case. These things don't have power over you. The climate, the government, the physical situation. Where that correction is leading us to is we share power with God. So in oneness, there isn't a bit that has power and a bit that doesn't have power. It's one power. So the term God has power over us isn't absolutely true. It's a correction. God shares his power with us. It's all one power. It's not a domineering power. It's not a controlling power. So there's only oneness. It is all powerful, and nobody or nothing has power over anything else. Does that make sense? Does that clarify?
Yes, it does, kironJ. Thank you.
And I'd just like to also comment on your sharing about the physical diagnosis and how wonderful it is that you are using it as a healing classroom for forgiveness. Absolutely brilliant, because this way miracles, this way God. This is a perfect use, holy use, repurposing of what the ego has made. And I'd just like to offer a slightly different way of seeing the brain having power. You know, the brain is sending signals that show anxiety. I'd just like to bring it back to the dreaming mind and offer that the mind dreaming its gym is dreaming that it has a brain that is doing whatever it's doing. So the brain is never the starting point of anything. Although in the world, it will say the brain controls this, that, and the next thing, and it does this and it does that. But from the Course's point of view, there is a dreaming mind that has dreamt that brain in all its details. And maybe that way of looking might offer you further opportunity to claim your true power.
Yes, thank you, kironJ. I did get a taste of that in the meditation, the mind that is beyond any of that.
Yes.
How that, that is the one that is really true. That is the true mind.
Yes. Well, the dreaming mind isn't the true mind, but it's what has power here. Because it's only the Christ that is true.
But is
The
there,
Christ.
but in our existence here, isn't there part of the mind that isn't dreaming? We can connect with the part of the mind that isn't dreaming or not?
The dreaming mind has a choice of two ways of seeing its dream. It can either listen to the ego and see the dream as a reality and the person's reality and blah, 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 or it can choose to remember God. And as Course in Miracles students, it would be to use the Course thought system. So the dreaming mind that can go either way in understanding its dream. And that's the only power we have within this dream experience. To remember we're dreaming the whole thing. And so we can dream different dreams.
So you're saying as long as we're on Earth, we are in the dreaming mind. We don't have any access to the non-dreaming mind on Earth. Is that what you're saying?
No, the dreaming mind can remember God.
Yes.
But it's nothing to do with the dream.
But it's still the dreaming mind, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So in our experience, we can have revelation because the dreaming mind really opens to the memory of God.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the dreaming mind doing that. Dreaming mind has nothing to do with truth. However, it's our stepping stone from where we seem to be back to the truth. Is how I see it. That's what I offer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Who would like to share? Norman, take yourself off mute.
Yes, thank you very much, Kieran. Just yesterday I was on lesson 91, and miracles are seen in light, and I was going through, I am not weak but strong, I am not helpless but all powerful, I am not limited but unlimited, I am not doubtful, but certain. I am not illusion, but a reality. And the last one, I cannot see in darkness, but in light. And the next one, believe it or not, is miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. And it says, you also believe the body's brain can think. If you had understood the nature of thought, you could but laugh at this insane idea. So it's just reinforced what I was doing yesterday and today. And thank you very much indeed for that. Because I was trying to say the recommended 20 minutes to try and know your true self. And it came out as like an all-seeing eye. Ones I saw before, the eye was sort of covered with a veil or a red glow or something across it. But just as that meditation was finishing, the eye appeared again, but it was clear blue and surrounded by goldenness. So I can only thank that meditation to say, my sight has always been clear. It's just my second, my mind that I've grown up with that has needed to stop interfering and get out of the way and just let the light that's in me and in all of us shine out. So thank you very much indeed.
Yeah. Thank you, Norman. Thank you. How beautiful. And of course, this is all happening in your mind, your earlier contemplations and this Zoom call, this Zoom gathering. It's all your thinking. So, of course, it's not unexpected that it'll come together. Yeah. The illusion is that there was ever a covering of the light. The fundamental principle of A Course in Miracles is that the separation never happened. There's never been a fog to obscure the light, despite how much our experience is like that. And the healing journey will take us further and further until we see, all resistance can't be real. Is that what God gave us? Resistance? Did God give us ego backlashes? No, none of this is really happening. There is only God, there is only light, there is only spiritual power. Nothing else has ever happened. And that's the direction that we're being led in. But when we identify as a person, we can have a fair bit of resistance because it means the person never happened. This is a radical journey without distance for us to take in our minds. And we can because heaven's in our mind. God is in our mind. And I was just saying to Jim earlier that we can open to it and remember it while we seem to be people, while we seem to be in this dream. So all blessings to you, Norman, for continuing your contemplations and your opening. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle, take yourself off mute.
Hi, everyone. Hi, kironJ.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. I think I've got some trauma coming up. I started a supply work yesterday in a school as a teaching assistant, and it was just so chaotic. And I used to teach years ago, many years ago, and I can just see my past coming up, really, from difficult times in a classroom of like my 20s with difficult children and quite a chaotic school and what seems to me like yesterday, my first day anyway. And yeah, I'm sort of struggling a bit with how I'm going in tomorrow again on Friday. And I'm almost got, I think I've got a feeling that I have to behave like the other teachers, and I've got judgments on them as well, and the school system, and doesn't sound very
Yeah,
inspiring, does it? But I feel like I need to do it for the moment, but I
yeah,
don't know where to put my mind about tomorrow.
okay.
So I need some money, I feel. I feel it's right for me to be earning some money right now. And I want to serve and all of that, so I want to see the miracles, but I think my head is so full of just the experience yesterday. It's challenging.
Okay, so wonderful that you brought it here. So if we look at our focus, uh, only that of God has any power over us. So no matter what your experience is, the school, the children, the chaos, the memories, the trauma arising actually has no power over you. So one thing is you could have that as a holding thought, not to deny your experience, but as a sat nav, as a navigation, where to put your mind. This can't have any power over me, not really, no matter what my experience is, because it's not of God. And then you could go to, I'm looking at my mind. I'm looking at my thinking. I'm looking at the chaos in the mind that I am, the dreaming mind, because it's choosing to be without God. So you could go in tomorrow and any other day that you choose to go in as the observer and silently go, wow, look at this chaos. Look at my resistance to the chaos. Look at the judgments. Look at the struggles the other teachers are having. Look at the upset in the children. Look at. These are all symbols of the trauma of choosing to reject God, choosing to reject your true power. So this, it seems to me, is the most fabulous healing classroom that your mind has chosen, if it chooses to take the power of looking at it like that. And every time you slip into Michelle, oh, it's all too much, you could practice, that's identifying with the person. The person will always have problems. Today it's a classroom. Tomorrow it'll be my family. The next day it'll be something else. So let's not go there. Let's not do personhood. Let's come back to being the observing mind, which naturally will be joining with the Holy Spirit, Jesus, however you choose to see it, and say, I am determined to see this differently. I am determined to see this as a brilliant forgiveness opportunity. I am determined to see this chaos as the result of choosing to be Michelle. Link it all together. That chaos is because the mind's choosing to be Michelle. And the mind can choose differently. I am not saying this is easy, but I am saying it's how I see the course supporting us to choose miracles.
Thank you, kironJ. I had a sense yesterday that, I'm probably meant to be there for whatever reason, to extend the love. But maybe I have a difficulty. The ego wants to come in and say, well, who do you think you are? And, just Michelle anyway, the scared new teaching assistant. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of thing
Yes.
comes in, and it's all like new and everything. So you can imagine it was like first day nerves and everything.
Yeah. So
So
you can choose to see that differently. There's no first day nerves. There's a mind choosing to be anxious and putting it on a story of a teacher new to a school. My invitation, my encouragement, keep coming back to the mind and seeing what it's choosing. and don't give any causation to your experience. It's not the school, it's not the children, it's not first day, it's not anything. It is your mind choosing to be upset, disturbed, traumatized, whatever. And the reason is rejecting your power as the Christ.
Thank you. Yeah, it does help. I keep hearing, I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm never happy for the reason I think.
Yes,
If not
yes,
being there, I'm okay. Going there, it's going to be hard.
yes,
That's just thoughts, aren't they?
yes, yes. And you'll
Thank
know
you.
that you've learned this lesson when you can either be in the classroom or think about the classroom in total peace.
Hmm.
I'm not affected by this. It's my ego thinking. That has no power.
Yeah.
I'm affected by God. I'm affected by the Holy Spirit. This is my peace. This is my power. This is where I'm living from.
And my
That's
inspiration is to extend the love, and to love the children, enjoy being there. That's what I want. But I want to obviously feel that everywhere as well, right? Do you know what I mean? I want to, but I don't know what you have to say about.
Well,
Is that a
well,
good inspiration to have?
well, I know we're coming right to the end, so my brief answer is no, it's not a good inspiration. There are no children to love. It's making the error real. Extending the love within the world is making the error real and choosing not to be loving. The love comes from remembering the truth and remembering there are minds. The other way of seeing it is that there are minds dreaming. They're these children. So not poor children, I want to help you. That's an attack. Doesn't seem like it, but the Course is saying that's an attack. So I'm sorry that's come very fast because I know Dan wants to wrap this up.
Yeah,
I hope
sorry.
it's helpful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I wasn't meaning like that. I felt sorry for them, but I hear you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All blessings for it, Michelle. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, kironJ. That was wonderful. And take yourself off mute and show your appreciation to kironJ.
Thanks very much, kironJ.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.